It's not even about like the fun or what you're doing, everything else. You just want to see everyone. You want to say hello and all that. You're getting to that age where you appreciate time spent. You appreciate the people that are in your life, but you're not going out on some wild trip or wild party or Vegas or shoot where you're at, Atlantic City or something. I mean, go up to New York. You're not doing any of that. You're trying to just, have a nice birthday where you see all your friends, the people you love, right?
And listen, that's 40 is a monumental birthday. Like if you go to round numbers, 30, go 21, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever. Like that's significant, right?
Right.
But 43, come on, bro.
That doesn't even stand out, to your point.
Right.
Like that one's like, that gets lost in the shuffle of like, hey, I turned 25, 21, 30, 40. Like
don't get a week, all right?
Yeah.
Come on. Stop.
If you do take a week, you're not a dude.
Right.
I'm not really sure what that says about you, but
right. That's my argument with him. I go, you're not a sportsman.
You could take either a Friday or a Monday off if it happens to land on a weekend and you're going to go do something like go on a camping trip or something like that.
Look, I don't mind him taking a 4-day weekend if he wants. That's fine. You can't say I'm celebrating for my birthday week. You can't. That's just too much.
Thank you.
It's too much.
I tell him, dude, it's a violation. Come on. I also think once you have kids, you realize, this better than anybody with 5 of them, that you cease, your birthday ceases to exist. Oh, yeah. Everything it's about irrelevant. It's all about the kids. That's how. That's what matters. Is that children? You make it special for them.
Exactly. I've been trying to get this into Lee's head, our producer here, and I would keep encouraging him to have kids because. Then it's going to change his perspective on life and how he spends his time and everything else along with it. He has not really taken me up on that yet. He's not really made much progress.
Not for lack of trying.
That. Well, you're getting a lot of practice in. I don't know if you're really trying. There's no try. There's either do or you don't do.
Well, I'll enjoy it while I don't have it, I should say.
That's one way of putting it.
I'm telling you, dude, it's the greatest. All right. Oh, man, two pros and cup of Joe backing them over to college football 45 days.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Tune in to Ice Cube's Big 3 this summer. Watch stars like Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Joe Johnson, Michael Beasley, and many more, along with Hall of Fame coaches. Experience the fast pace and physical play and fun action that defines the game. You know what it is. It's the Big 3. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice. Oh, yay!
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
A stalled vehicle blocks off the right center lane going northbound on I-35 around Tech Ridge Boulevard. Also on I-35 northbound stop-and-go traffic making that change from Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon, causing a 10-minute delay. Watch out for a crash at the corner of MLK Jr. Boulevard and Airport Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they were 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media. Even twice as many teens than TikTok. And that reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for your business. Radio's here now more than ever, and iHeart's leading the way. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio, where the reach is real. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, just call 844-844-iHeart and get radio working for you.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Tune in to Ice Cube's Big Three this summer. Watch stars like Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Joe Johnson, Michael Beasley, and many more, along with Hall of Fame coaches. Experience the fast pace and physical play and fun action that defines the game. You know what it is. It's the Big Three. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice. Oh, yay, yay!
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
You can't be stopped with Unstoppable's laundry scent boosters because they give your clothes 24-hour nonstop freshness. So even on your longest nonstop days, you'll be confident in smelling fresh all day long. Try now for as low as $5 and smell unstoppable.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app. It's the Morning Kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Texas Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. We are 17 days away from Texas, the #1 team in the land, taking on Ohio State. Coach Sark recaps the scrimmage and gives out some bright spots. Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3 joins us at 7:34 to talk about what he thought about Coach Sark. We have Texas baseball coach Jim Slosnick joining us at 8 a.m. Talk Texas recruiting and something that he is doing with the Nolan Ryan Foundation to help those that were affected by the flooding. Also, the NFL came out with their quarterback rankings, and we will discuss. And, of course, the news that came out yesterday, Shedeur Sanders back to the bottom of the charts. We'll discuss that as well. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we have Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, we're going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets this morning, but you have to have that new and improved and always free iHeartRadio app. All you're going to do is tap that talkback feature, leave a message, and you might get a chance to win a pair of tickets. But number one, put us as number one on your presets as well. Well, Mark, Texas football is ranked number one for the first time in the preseason poll, the AP poll, and it's an exciting time because the hype is real. We've been talking about it. We've been looking forward to it. We think this team has ascended to a place of happiness and joy for the fan base.
Happy, joy.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not warranted. It's not like it's a gift and not something that they earned. They're 2 deep minimum at every position. And that warrants you having a great team, but also look at all the people that already have the preseason superlatives.
Yep.
So I see it.
Yeah, that's you work hard to get all this the accolades before the season, but as Coach Sark, and you'll hear it in just a moment, talks about, you got to have that at the end of the year. It's all fun and dandy at the beginning of the year. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, and that's what Coach Sark was talking about. But here's Coach Sark talking about his team's practice as they're starting to get locked back in and getting closer and closer to game day.
Our guys just practiced their asses off. It was awesome. So that's that.
And he was not playing around.
Whoa, that was quick.
Yeah, he's straight to the point. He's straight to the point. But, of course, the question was, your team comes in. They're recognized that as the number one team in the land for the first time in the AP poll as the preseason favorite. And he says, how's your team handling it?
It really doesn't matter. That's how I drown it out. I tell the guys exactly that. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the way the season's going to go. It's irrelevant to the way we're going to play. It's irrelevant to how our opponents are going to play. Maybe it puts a little bigger bullseye on us for our opponents. But the reality is we have to go do it, right? We have to perform, and we have to perform at a high level over time and time again. And so, and that shouldn't change whether if we were 1, 8, 12, 30, shouldn't matter, right? We got to have to prepare really well, and then we're going to have to perform. And we're going to have to perform in critical moments. We're going to have to perform at home. We're going to have to perform on the road. We've got a very challenging schedule that way, that quite frankly, it doesn't matter, and, again, I think that expectations around here are always to be champions. I mean, that hasn't changed since day one. I think the key to the drill is you like to have a number one next to you at the end of the season, right? And so the beginning of the season, as I've said before, it's great for the fans. It's great for the exposure of college football. It's great for the first game of the year and what that matchup looks like. It's great for college football. I think there's 3 top 10 matchups the first weekend of college football. What an exciting weekend for our sport. And so that part's exciting, but I bet you could ask every coach around the country, they tell you the exact same thing. The reality is, what are we going to do? It's not what other people think of us. It's actually how we need to perform. And that's going to be the message to the guys.
And that is the truth. You have to be able to go out there and perform. The hype, as we talked about, it's real. Obviously, people across the country are looking at this Texas team, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the Arch Manning effect, and we'll talk about that in the next segment. But I also wanted to find out what did you and didn't like about the scrimmage this past Saturday?
It really doesn't matter. That's how I drown it out. I tell the guys exactly that. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the way the season's going to go. It's irrelevant to the way we're going to play. It's irrelevant to how our opponents are going to play. Maybe it puts a little bigger bullseye on us for our opponents. But the reality is we have to go do it, right? We have to perform, and we have to perform at a high level over time and time. Yeah, the scrimmage, I thought, the first 3 drives, we were going 1s, 2s, 3s in the scrimmage, which was a little bit different format than we've used in the past. Historically, we've gone 1s and 2s, and then when they're done, the 3s go, and then we go 1s and 2s, and then 3s go. We were going 1s, 2s, 3s. And defensively, all three groups, 1s, 2s, 3s, came out and had a really good first drive. The second drive, the first offense, the second offense, and the third offense all had really good drives inside the 5, and then they didn't finish those drives. And so that was a great stand by the defense to hold them there. Then we went to the next phase of the scrimmage, which was red zone lockout, and I thought the offense performed really well and won that period. We came back after halftime and did a coming out period. And the second defense had a nice series. The first defense struggled a little, and then the third offense had a 99-yard drive. It's a hell of a drive. And then we did a 2-minute drill, and both the first offense and the second offense drove down and kicked game-winning field goal. So I like the balance. I like the competitiveness of the scrimmage. I like the physicality of the scrimmage. We're playing really physical football on both sides of the ball. As naturally in a first scrimmage, it's always going to be a little bit sloppy, pre-snap penalties, things like that. We definitely had to clean up from an offensive perspective. I love the way we tackled in the first scrimmage. I think we had, the defensive coaches will tell you we had 15 missed tackles, but there were no really egregious missed tackles. A lot of them were in the line of scrimmage. So I thought we tackled well, which was encouraging. At the end of the day, I thought we punted the ball really well. We got off to a little slow start kicking game, but I think Mason really stepped up and feel very confident in what he can do. And he made a couple really big kicks for us there at the end. And then obviously we know we have Will, kicking off for us. So I think we're in good shape from a specialty standpoint that way.
Love it. Love it. And they're going to continue to grind, continue to get after it. He talked about the pre-snap penalties and what they need to do to clean that up. He'll also talk about it a little bit later. But one of the biggest things that everybody's trying to figure out is who are some of the standouts that you got a chance to see during the scrimmage on Saturday?
Standout performers. I was really pumped about Cedric Baxter Saturday. That he fired me up, man. He ran hard. He ran physical. That was encouraging. Derek Williams was another guy. He had his best day, which was day 9, and both those guys coming off of those injuries. So those were probably the two biggest guys that excited me the most coming out of it. There was other guys that highlight plays. Aaron Butler had a bunch of catches. Anthony Smith has had a great camp. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that way. I think Murad Watson, Alex January looked really good. I think we only had 2 guys didn't finish the scrimmage, and that was Nick Brooks and Nick Townsend, and both of them were both practiced all day today and were great. So nothing serious.
And that's good to know as well.
You notice that 3 of those guys didn't play a lot last year or were injured last year, and they will be better in this situation now that this season is starting. January, having a good camp and having a good summer actually too. So like you put having good scrimmages together with how he did this summer and the improvements. I heard he squatted near 600 pounds. So that's a good summer.
Yeah.
And then he said Derek Williams. Williams is a guy that they needed to show up. And to have him have a good summer as well, and then to come in and have a good scrimmage, man, that means a lot for this Longhorn team.
Well, that's him coming back from that injury and being able to rehab and go out there and play at the level that we expect him to play. He was a guy that, Coach Sark talked about the defensive line and the fact that they didn't have the depth. And so a lot of guys like Collins and Broughton, they had to play more reps than what they probably should have.
Right. So they were tired.
Yes. And that's the same thing you could say in the secondary. There were some guys that were banged up that were going to play an integral part of the success that Texas was going to have. I believe that is why so many people are looking at this Texas football team and believing that they're going to be a lot better than what they were.
Because they have more depth.
Because now they have more depth in those key positions. And then you also look at what Jalen Gilbo, Jelani McDonald, all those guys, Kobe Black. He's talked about some players that are stepping up, and we still haven't really dove into that Grayson Littleton football player that has been having a hell of a camp. So we'll continue that and so much more. We'll continue hearing from Coach Sark more about Arch Mania and how he's handling it. Joe Cook of Inside Texas at 7:34. And then we'll close out the hour talking about Ohio State. Oh, yeah, they're in the top 5, too. And Texas is going to Columbus in 17 days. Right here on a Texas Tuesday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio, AM 1300, The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
Our iHeart Radio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas. T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way there.
Gear up, music fans. Hyundai is back as a proud partner of the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Join us as our electrifying all-star lineup hits the stage like never before.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
A stalled vehicle blocks off the right center lane going northbound on I-35 around Tech Ridge Boulevard. Also on I-35 northbound stop-and-go traffic making that change from Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon, causing a 10-minute delay. Watch out for a crash at the corner of MLK Jr. Boulevard and Airport Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you right here in America. And this summer, we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
And Doug.
Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
We are 17 days from taking that trip to Columbus as Texas takes on Ohio State. Texas, the number one team in the land. Preseason poll. First time in AP history. Texas is a preseason number one. Underdog. So many. And of course, we got Joe Cook Texas coming up next, so he will talk about it. But I want to give out a shout to Kiki Powell of Sunfield Elementary School in Buda. She is going out of her way to find the resources she needs to help her students and colleagues be successful in the classroom. School is about to start, so we want to make sure that we get all these kids ready to go and bless them to have a great school year. Be careful, slow down, and look out for them babies out there because they are getting ready to start the school year, Mark.
Yeah, they'll be crossing the streets, and sometimes they run in front of the bus.
Yep.
They're excited about getting to school and they're excited about getting home. So we need to slow down, guys.
Make sure you pay attention to those school zones. Don't be like Shador Sanders and Miles Garrett driving like they.
What's the problem in Cleveland? Where's everybody
They
driving?
trying to get the heck out the way. They trying to leave town as fast as they can.
Wow.
They in Cleveland. This is for you. Yeah, they trying to get up out of there. But seriously, people pay attention and slow down. Slow down while you're out there because schools are about to start. Y'all had all summer to act a fool. Now get back and get some sense about you while you're driving.
Yeah.
Because the kids are going on their way to school.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we got some famous 17s too. Jordan Shipley.
Yeah. No. When was Jordan Shipley number 17?
Shipley was a 17, wasn't he?
No. Shipley was 8.
Jordan Whittington.
Yeah. Okay.
Jordan Whittington.
Yeah.
Man, okay.
Yeah. You wrestled for a while.
Yeah, I got hit in the head a lot. But the most famous 17 is actually Julius Whittier, who he was a trailblazer. He was the first African American to play football at the University of Texas.
67?
What's that?
Wasn't he number 67?
He was number 17 first.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Because that statue out in
the
front
statue
is
has 67, but his first number was 17.
Okay. Nice. And another one that had number 17, Sherrod Harris, brother that should have had more reps at the University of Texas. He was one of the coldest ones out there, but he didn't get a chance to play near as much as he should have. So another number to pay attention to. But right now, number 16, which we'll talk about tomorrow, but we're going to talk about him today. Number 16, Arch Manning. And Coach Sark was asked about how Arch is handling all the expectations coming into this season, even though we all understand it's his first start in a regular season.
I don't know if I have necessarily expectations. I think when we visited with Arch coming out of Saturday, there was probably 5 or 6 plays that I'm very confident he's going to make as we move forward. That Saturday was our 9th practice of fall camp. It'd be like essentially a preseason game. It'd be like playing the Hall of Fame game, right? So to think that we're a fine-tuned machine in that practice, probably not realistic. But he came out today and had a great practice. And so, again, that work in progress, he didn't do anything like catastrophically bad, but I just know what he's capable of. And so we just got to keep, tightening the screws to make sure that he's performing the way he's capable of performing. And I think part of that is physically and part of that is mentally the leadership that he provides to the guys around him to allow them to help him play the way that he's capable of playing. No turnover Saturday for him at all. I think there was one turnover. It was on a tip ball in the red area, actually. That the defense made a nice play during the red zone period.
Yeah.
Defense making plays. I like that.
They're going to continue to make plays. And as we heard last week from Malik Muhammad, when he was talking about how Arch will come to him and why were you playing this type of defense? What did you see from me? And vice versa. They're helping each other out. So we all know that it's happened since the beginning of time. You're going against each other the entire time. You're going to know each other's play. You're going to know the route. You're going to know the setup. That's great. That is outstanding. But now what are you going to do to improvise and make some different plays? And Arch Manning learning, progressing, going through it, third year in the system, but now Coach Sark is changing some of the things that he has to do as well because you got a different type of quarterback. You have a guy that's not afraid to take some risk and throw it down the field. You got a guy that believes in his arm enough that he'll try to force it into an area. And if you're going to make these mistakes, make them in practice.
Yeah. I mean, you want to make your mistakes in practice. I heard something yesterday that just made my heart swell. Is the fact that they have a couple of timing plays that are designed for comebacks. And out of the 5 times that they ran those comeback plays, Arch completed all 5 of the comeback plays.
Yeah.
And that's consistency because you expect at least one to be overthrown, or underthrown, or somebody drop one or whatever.
Yeah.
5 for 5?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's consistency at the highest level.
And he was also asked about the Arch Mania situation and where everybody's mindset is and how's everybody handling it.
I don't know. You don't know the truth. I don't know. Like I don't really know yet. What I know is what I see every day, and he seems good to me. We visit a fair amount to make sure that what frame of mind is he in where I think he performs the best. There's this is going to be a long season, and unfortunately, we live in a world of he's the greatest ever or he's going to be a bust, and there's not a lot of like in between, and it's kind of like where we are as a team. We're either going to be national champs or we're going to be a bust. Like that's the mentality outside of our building. We don't really think that way. I don't think Arch thinks that way. I think Arch thinks about what am I doing today to improve? What am I doing today to be the best teammate I can be? When the game weeks roll around, what am I doing to prepare to put myself in the best position to perform? I just don't think he's that concerned, no offense to you guys, with what you guys write and say. I don't think it matters to him. I really don't. I think it's more about what do his teammates think about him? And that's a cool thing to have. And so, but I don't know yet because we really haven't gotten into the fire. As much as the hoopla has happened, we really haven't gotten into the fire of real games and dealing with that in-game, post-game, next week's game, so on and so forth, with really dealing with the media that way.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting take from week to week because of the questions that are going to be asked by the media. Quinn never really gave you too much. And if you go back and listen to the interview that I had with Arch Manning, and I'm sure that a lot of you can get over to our podcast page and find that, and on all of our social medias, because we are the home of your Texas Longhorns. He mentioned the fact that he hung out and spent a lot of time talking to Quinn about how to deal with the media in these particular moments. So there's going to be some times where we're not going to get a lot from Arch, but there will be some times too where we get a whole lot from Arch because you're the quarterback of the University of Texas and you're heavy as the crown that is being worn.
And then they get media training.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things that we did with the younger talent at NXT when I was with WWE. Well, back with WWE, but they go through media training courses, how to deal with questions. What are the media trying to get out of you, and always be on the defense.
Right.
Always. Even though it may be somebody that's interviewing you that has interviewed you before.
Right.
Sometimes people get like they wake up with a hair and they just want to get something out of you.
Right.
And you have to be prepared for it.
No doubt. And one of the last things that he was asked about was his ability to coach Arch and comparing him to Jake Locker. Jake Locker, running quarterback, was able to move around, but Arch is a little bit different because Arch is a better passer.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, Jake was, he was a really good runner. I mean, that was probably his strength. And that was what they really used him as before I got to Washington. We kind of evolved him into the passer that I think he became, but utilized his legs, and he had some big time runs for us that were critical. Arch definitely provides something different that way for us, and I think Matt and KJ do too. But I don't think all three of those guys, I don't think any of them are majoring in running the ball. But I do think it adds a dimension to our offense that it requires you to defend. And hopefully that opens some other aspects of our offense up a little bit more.
And it's going to be important because
you didn't mention Trey.
Well, and the other part of it is you got to make sure you get down.
Slide.
That's Mark's favorite
to the
thing.
Left.
Coming up, we got our guy Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3 talking about what he saw or heard from the scrimmage and what his expectations are as we are 17 days away from Texas and Ohio State to kick off the season. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
A couple of stalled vehicles out there this morning affecting a couple different highways. On 183 going southbound, a stalled vehicle has the right lane blocked off in Montopolis Drive. There's also a stalled vehicle in the right center lane northbound on I-35 at Tech Ridge Boulevard, and some stop-and-go speeds on I-35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Hey, it's JB and Sandy for our friends at Koala Cooling. You know, by all Texas standards, this summer has been pretty mild, but that doesn't mean it couldn't change in a heartbeat and be hot for a long time. So you want to make sure that your AC unit is ready to go. Call Koala Cooling and get your AC qualified. Call 512-759-8800 or go to koalacooling.com. Got a plumbing issue? They can take care of that too. JB, you recently had them out to your house.
I did. I just had Chris, one of their technicians from Koala Plumbing, come out. I had a external faucet that was stuck, and I was afraid I was going to break it. I have an old house. And before he got here, I got this nice text telling me about Chris, the technician that's showing up, a little bit about him, a little bit of his, that he's a dog lover and an avid gamer. So when he showed up, I'm like, hey, Chris, how are you? Did a great job.
Go to koalacooling.com or call 512-759-8800.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Truck City Ford in Buda has made it simple. Go online. Pick yours at truckcityford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Truck City Ford in Buda has made buying a new Ford simple.
Hey, hello. Listen to my voice talking to you about the new Old Spice NFL collection at Walmart. Now listen to my smell. I smell like NFL stars Jared Goff, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, CJ Stroud, and George Kittle. I smell like greatness. Why? Because I'm wearing Old Spice's new NFL collection. How can you put the greatness of the NFL into a smell, you ask? You can't. But Old Spice can. And they did. Smell like Suntal and Speed, Driftwood and Drive, Sea Ties and Toughness with the Old Spice NFL collection available at Walmart. Smell like the greatest smell in the NFL with Old Spice.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Texans training camp, tight end Brevin Jordan carted off the field with a lower leg injury. Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer expects running backs Jaden Blue and Miles Sanders to return from injury, believes they'll play Saturday against the Ravens. Ramon Urias and Chaz McCormick each at 2-run homers to lead the Astros over the Red Sox in their series opener in Houston. I'm Ron Moss.
This is Chris Broussard. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 or older. Age and eligibility vary by jurisdiction.
Get fired up, y'all. Season 2 of Good Game with Sarah Spain is underway, and we just welcomed one of my favorite people, an incomparable soccer icon, Megan Rapinoe, to the show. Take a listen.
Sue and I were like riding the Lime bikes the other day, and we're like, whee! Like, this is unbelievable. People ride bikes because it's fun.
We've got more incredible guests like Megan in store, plus news of the day and more. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Good Game with Sarah Spain, and listen now.
Longhorns basketball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It is a Texas Tuesday edition of the morning kickoff. And what better way to keep this party rolling than going to get our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and on 3. All you got to do is follow him at Joseph Cook 89 on social media. And Joe, let's get right into it. 17 days away from the number 1 team in the land, preseason poll of AP, Texas Longhorns traveling to Columbus to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. And yesterday, Coach Sark was asked about the preseason ranking, and he says it doesn't matter what happens at the beginning of the year. It only matters what happens at the end.
Yeah, I see where he's coming from and talking about with his team. And, I think what he does pretty well is to say, like, you know what, I'm going to address it, talk about it, not going to try to ignore it, but just move on. It's kind of a piece of news. It's like so-and-so making a watch list. So I think it's fun. I'm upset at some of the AP voters for not giving us 1 versus 2 in week 1, but I guess we'll have to roll with the coaches and say that. But 1 versus 3 still a big game. But I think what it does is, even if Sark wants to try to, maybe not emphasize the polls or anything like that, it does let the team know, like, hey, if you didn't already know this before, you still got a big time test coming up in just over 2 weeks.
Yeah. No,
Joe, does it really matter though? Whether it's 1 or 2, 1 or 3, 1 or 5, like it's a top 5 matchup, and everybody that loves college football is going to be watching that game.
Yeah, I don't think it matters a whole lot. I mean, I like the 1 versus 2 idea, especially a little symmetry 19 years later from Ohio State coming to Austin, ranked number 1, I believe, and Texas number 2. So it would have been nice to see that, but no, it doesn't. I do think that there is a little almost over discounting of the polls, maybe, because the people in that college football playoff committee are human. And, I know the BCS tried to use computers, but they also use human polls, and they're going to look and see like, oh, this team's ranked number 10 right now. And so maybe that'll be where I put them in my poll. Like, I think it does matter a little bit, even though it doesn't have a direct influence. I don't think you can just say that there is no indirect influence from the polls with how the college football playoff works.
Joe, don't you think that is pretty impressive to go against this University of Texas defense in a game, in a scrimmage, and you complete 5 of 5 of comeback routes against a team that everybody thinks may be the best defensive unit that Texas ever produced?
Yeah, I mean, I think what that does is it shows that Arch and the rest of the quarterbacks, they can figure out where to find some yardage. I'm sure on those comeback routes, if I know anything about Sark's offense or some other options down the field, but for them to be able to complete those types of passes maybe it means that's all the defense was giving them. Maybe that means that's the only place they can find a hole in the defense. And, if that's the case, that means that defense is pretty solid across the board. So, it's the weird part of the camp where there's a give and take, and for one to give, one has to take, and so on and so forth. One side, somebody's got to win. It's football. But for the Longhorn offense to be a step behind doesn't sound like it concerns anybody in the coaching staff. But they're still making plays too. That's the
Keep
thing.
the
They're not
sticks
getting
moving.
they're not getting completely shut down. They're still making some plays. Texas still gave up some big plays, some yards last year, but never made it a debilitating loss or a debilitating play. So kind of the right amount of news from camp, I feel like.
Well, I need to correct myself. It's 18 days. It's not 17 days. I jumped the gun. I'm a little fast.
You jumped the
on
gun?
the trigger. So it's 18 days away.
Stanley Richard, baby.
From Texas and Ohio State. But I do want to ask you this, because obviously Ryan Wingo is getting a lot of love as expected. But you also have DeAndre Moore and, of course, Parker Livingstone, as he is starting to emerge a lot from this Texas football team. Do you see any other guys? I know McCutcheon has been doing really good, and he's had his name called out a couple times. But what are you looking for in that secondary? I mean, in that wide receiver room.
Yeah, I think I want to know what's going on with Emmett Mosley. It sounds like he had to sit out this most recent scrimmage. And that's someone that they brought in to, be a top 4 player, a competitive starter. And then I want to know if somebody can join that 4, it sounds like, of Wingo, Moore, Livingston, and Mosley. Can it be Aaron Butler? Can it be Dalen McCutcheon? Can it be Khalil Lockett? We heard Khalil Lockett had some reps with the first team, and you can hear, oh, he had reps with the first team, means he's a first teamer, or it could just been like 3 or 4 plays. But it does, even those 3 or 4 plays, is a little bit of trust from the coaches to be willing and able to run with the ones and do what's necessary. So we'll see. I think we're going to find out a lot in those 3 weeks after the Ohio State game, just to see who they play and who they rotate through. But that Ohio State game, it's going to show us also who maybe some of the younger players are that they trust to be in that usually top 4 is about where they cut it off.
We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89 on social media. One of the other things too, Joe, that I continue to want to talk about is that defensive line. That defensive line continues to have different guys step up. When Coach Sark mentioned it the other day, he was saying how tough of a time it was to move the ball. They did get some good running plays from C.J. Baxter, but what are your expectations on that D-line?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be a transcendent talent like there has been in the past couple of years. I think Alfred Collins was almost to that point. Of course, you did have Sweat and Murphy. I think Coburn and Ojimo weren't individually there, but, as a group, they were really good. I don't know if you're going to have one transcendent guy, one All-American guy, but I think you're going to have probably about 3 or 4 different guys who you can trust to be really good, and maybe even 5 or 6. And there are some teams that only have one, even in this league. So if you have that level of depth to where maybe it's not excellent, but they're all up to like a certain standard, that's something that other teams don't have for the course of 60 minutes and 65 plays, something like that. That can be a real advantage. And then if someone does become transcendent, well, you figure out who that guy is. You make sure he's rested as best he can be over the course of the game, and then when it's crunch time and 4th and 1, you put him out there knowing that he's been able to not rest, but to bide his energy as best he can for the end of the game.
Joe, if you got 3 guys that weigh 350, that makes that offensive line have to really, really work, and they're not going to be as good in the 4th quarter as they are in the 1st, 2nd quarter.
No, not at all. I mean, it's kind of hockey shifts is the thing we've been saying for what it could look like. You bring the first line out, you bring the second line out, you bring the third line out, and then you cycle through again. And I don't know if there's a penalty kill or anything like that, but maybe that's a third down. Maybe that's a third down package. Throw some different looks out there. But I mean, if you have 3 guys who you can trust to go, all right, you have 5 snaps, give it your all, and you do that about 5 times a game. That's a little bit different than saying like, all right, you're on the field for this 15-play drive. Go have at it, buddy.
No doubt. There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. And on 3, make sure you follow him at Joseph Cook 89. As always, Joe, we thank you for taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon,
man.
buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. When we come back, we're going to talk about Ohio State and some of the names that you need to pay attention to. And did you know that Texas is a 2.5-point dog? What? I thought they were number 1 in the nation. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show.
So Texas goes in there to play him in Danny Meyer Coliseum in Fort Worth. Kurt Thomas played the game of his life, and TCU upset Texas. So a month later, they have the rematch in Austin. Texas blows them out of the water. Billy Tubbs did not want to go in and do the postgame. That's when he walked into the news conference, stood at the microphone and said, okay, I'm only going to take 3 questions. And then somebody raised their hand and said, why only 3 questions, Coach? Now you're down to 2 questions.
Weekdays at 2.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
A couple of stalled vehicles out there this morning affecting a couple different highways. On 183 going southbound, a stalled vehicle has the right lane blocked off in Montopolis Drive. There's also a stalled vehicle in the right center lane northbound on I-35 at Tech Ridge Boulevard, and some stop-and-go speeds on I-35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon. I'm Jason Fossig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Mark, look at that man's car. Fresh rims, candy paint. But that tag, it still says temp tag.
That ain't it, player. That's a flag on the ride. You can't pull up to a tailgate with a name like Texas Beast and a tag that screams, oh, I just got this.
Man, go to myplates.com and get a plate that says Sack King or Horns Up.
Make your ride as strong as your game face.
Go to myplates.com, rep the zone, that's your keyword, and ride like a champion.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Liz went from being interested in true crime to living true crime.
My husband comes back and he's shaking. And he said, your dad's been killed.
This is Hands Tied, a true crime podcast exploring the murder of Jim Melgar.
I was just completely in shock.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Hands Tied, and listen now.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Tune in to Ice Cube's Big 3 this summer. Watch stars like Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Joe Johnson, Michael Beasley, and many more, along with Hall of Fame coaches. Experience the fast pace and physical play and fun action that defines the game. You know what it is. It's the Big 3. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice. Oh, yay, yay!
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And right now, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, y'all, this is Jason Aldean. You know I'm all about supporting what matters to us, our families, our freedoms, and our country. That's why I made the switch to Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. With Patriot Mobile, you're getting top quality service on the same great networks, and every bill helps support our veterans and defend our freedoms. It's time to put your dollars where it counts. Join me in switching to Patriot Mobile today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Aldine or call 972-PATRIOT today.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting saber-tooth zip ride or pan for gemstones. Take the wild cave tour or the hidden passages tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app. It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Thanks to our guy, Joe Cook of South Texas, breaking it down like no other. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have Texas baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle breaking down his recruitment, what's going on this summer, and he's also doing something with the Nolan Ryan Foundation that's helping some folks in the Texas Hill Country. And he's going to let you know how you can help as well. Right now, I want to get back to the Texas Longhorns and give you a few things that you need to know. Obviously, the Texas Longhorns are traveling to Ohio State, and the #1 freak of the week is Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith, the freshman, now sophomore, is one of the freakiest players in college football as an athlete. We saw what he was able to do last season, but truth be told, Texas held him in check last year. 1 reception in the game against the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns did what they were needing to do, bracketed him. Jahdae Barron went from side to side. We also heard from Jalen Gilbo and what they were able to do. So the challenge is going to be just that again. Another one is linebacker Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles, he's one of those guys that was on the freakish list, athletic as all get out. He will be somebody to be paying attention to as well. And you cannot forget about Caleb Downs, the top prospect on the defense in next year's draft, defensive safety that came in from Alabama. Mark, he has always been able to be that guy that can come down in the box. He can cover the tight end. He's also physical at the point of contact. He's a special type of player.
He'll be a top 15 draft pick too.
Yeah.
So, like, anytime you get a guy that's able to do what you just said, not only covered in the intermediate part of the field and deep in the cover 2, but could come up and cover tight ends and play the flats, that's the guy that's going to get drafted in the top 15 because of versatility. Not to mention, he's just fast. He's strong for his size. He's got real good movement. Like, he was one of those guys that was the highest recruited guy in college, in high school football that year.
Yeah, he actually tried to play. They were going to find a way to get him to play when he came to Alabama because he was doing so well when he came in at the halfway point to be able to work out. And I was like, what? How is that even possible? But, you know, Nick Saban, he knows how to bend the rules and find a way to get to that point. So we'll see what ends up happening. But like I said, you start to look at this list and understand that when they talk about athletes that are special, Texas is going to see them right off the bat at the very beginning of the season. And I know that they can't wait.
Well, you don't play to somebody else's. You make them play to yours.
Yeah.
And Texas is a team on both sides of the ball, all 3 phases that have special players. So I mean, it's mano a mano. Like you should give us your best. We'll give you ours. See what happens.
Well, right now, I want to give you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets to go see Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace. We're giving away tickets to the Moody Center September the 3rd, and the key word of the day is animal. All you have to do is get over to the iHeartRadio app, go search for AM 1300 The Zone, tap that red microphone, and then leave the keyword animal for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Breaking Benjamin in 3 Days Grace.
You want to say Breaking Bad so bad, don't you?
I do. But I'm
Benjamin.
I'm looking at it, so I'm going through what I saw. So make sure that you're tuned in this afternoon with Craig Way and Cam Parker on the Craig Way Show, as you will hear more from Coach Sark. Coach Sark is yesterday was media for Coach Sark. He got a chance to talk about the team, understanding that they're the number one team in the land, but not buying into the hype too much, because although Texas is the number one team in the land, they're going to Columbus as an underdog.
I don't understand.
They're a 2.5 point underdog. And so for them to go in there,
not a 1 point dog,
2.5. But most home teams get 3 points. Most times you get 3 points automatically.
That's what your cousin told you?
No, that's just the rules of the game. That's the rules of the game. From the game that I played before, if you could get 3 points, that's basically a push in most situations. So Texas being a 2.5 point dog, I don't like everything else. You don't look too much into it because people still don't know what each team is going to be like. The expectations obviously are huge for both teams because one poll has them at 1-2. Then another poll, the AP poll, has them at 1-3. So,
and it's not going to be the same game as we saw last year.
No, it's a totally different
outlook
for both of these teams. And as the expectations continue to roll in, you know as well as I do, Texas is looking at this whole thing a little bit different than what they had before. We heard about Coach Sark thinking we got more of a running game with Arch Manning because Quinn wasn't a guy that was going to run the football. Still not running it in the NFL. Didn't look to move early in the pocket. But you look at what you've seen from Arch in his past. The one thing that we will continue to monitor is how quick Arch pulls the ball down. Is he going to feel a little bit of pressure and just automatically take off? Or is he going to bide some time to kind of see what is developing down the field? Because the scramble drill is going to be the scramble drill.
Right.
So it's those moments of being able to play and get a feel and understand what everything is all about.
And this is your opinion, of a question for you, and I want your honest opinion. Do you script a drive or do you play it by ear and give Arch Manning the option to run a pass early?
Well, this is going to be scripted.
Okay.
Because Sark always scripts his plays early and gets to that, what is it, first 15 maybe, and see. But again, as a play caller, you see certain things right away and you can adjust. Yeah, you can be scripted, but sometimes I think he's going to give him the chance to audible out of things. He's been in the system for 3 years, so he pretty much knows everything about the system. So I think that he's going to be okay. I'm not too worried about what Arch is going to do at this moment. As he said, we're still 18 days away from this happening. So I think he's going to be just fine. Coming up next, we're going to talk to the Texas baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle, about all things Texas baseball, expectations, and what he and the Nolan Ryan Foundation are doing to raise money, along with a couple other schools as well. The challenge is out there, folks. Let's make Texas handle their business. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. So whatever your customers are into, true crime, sports, comedy, culture, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. And all this reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for you. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time. Call 844-844 and get podcasting working for you.
Oh, could the going to the store be any better? Right? The best part? Discover. In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah. Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby. Get with the time.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
Economists are predicting a robust 2025. Rates are lower and huge rebates are back. This is great news for consumers. Now, having said that, new vehicle transaction prices are double what they were in 2010, and consumers want low payments. Auto manufacturers are addressing affordability with long-term financing agreements of 72, 75, even 84 months in duration. Those terms don't come close to matching most people's trade cycles. And Apple Leasing Easy Lease offers the lowest payments and terms that make sense for you. After all, does it really make sense to make a high payment on a long-term purchase when the only thing you'll be left with at the end is negative equity? We all know how this story ends. Join thousands of other clients and save today with the Easy Lease. Make no down payments, have no payments for 60 days, and build a relationship that lasts a lifetime. It's easy. Just call 512-346-9977 or visit us online at appleleasing.com.
An app for pics, an app for playlists, even the app for scrolling endlessly at 2 a.m. But only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket, the free iHeartRadio app. Get what millions already have. iHeartRadio, the #1 app for radio.
From the Audio Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to a Texas Tuesday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We had an opportunity to talk about Coach Sark meeting with the media yesterday as the #1 team in the preseason AP poll. We also heard from Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and we also broke down Jeremiah Smith, Sonny Styles, and Caleb Downs of the Ohio State Buckeyes. We are 18 days away from Texas and Ohio State. but it's always good to be joined by the head coach of the Texas Longhorn baseball team, a team that was SEC regular season champs, and he just continues to find a way to get this thing rolling. Coach Jim Schlossnagle. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. Hope you've had a great summer. Good to see you. Good to talk with you.
No doubt, no doubt. Always love chopping it up with you, especially when it's time to talk baseball. And we'll get into what you and the Nolan Ryan Foundation are doing to help some folks in the Texas Hill Country. But I wanted to ask about, now that all of the dust has settled, the teams have changed a little bit. You had some guys sign their major league contracts. What does Coach Schlossnagle do now?
We've been hard at work. The summer is a real peak recruiting time. First, right after the season ended, that was about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks of recruiting the portal and trying to fill in some places and trying to figure out, who's going to stay off our team, who's going to come in off our team, how the draft's going to affect that. So once we got through the draft, then we kind of had to scramble to fill a few spots that were a little unexpected in some losses. And now we've moved on to planning out the fall visits for the 2027 class, which is rising juniors. I just got off the road. I was in California. But we're all back in town now. We're going to have a little coaches retreat for a couple days outside of town and plan out our entire year and get ready for fall practice and start putting together a team again.
Coach, you last time we talked about your pitching core, and you said you wanted to improve and get some left-handers. Like, were you able to accomplish that in the portal?
We did. We got 3 really good ones. One of them happened to he actually moved here, but he got drafted way higher than expected and got a bonus, that he felt comfortable with. So we lost that one, but we got 2 really good lefties, a guy named Cal Higgins out of Western Kentucky, who was one of the best relievers in the country last year, and a kid named Hayden LeFou from Wake Forest. Really good arm, big fastball. So those guys are going to be important for us, along with we really kept most of our key freshmen and high school signees on the mound in the draft. So really like a lot of those guys, at least right out of the gate. But those 2 transfers are going to play a big role, especially, we're going to look at Dylan Valanis at more than likely as a starting pitcher, at least in fall practice, and see what that looks like. We want to be able to help him accomplish his personal goals, but we also got to take into account what's best for the team. So we'll see how that fall goes and see what that looks like.
Coach Sark always said that there's a lot of guys that are good, but they don't necessarily fit the system. Like in your system, do you make an emphasis on kids that will make the program look good, not just on the field?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously believe great people make great players, right? It's not the other way around. So you try to do as best you can in your research and visiting with people and people you trust over the course of time that direct players your way. So we feel really good about the character of the guys. They're young people. They're going to screw up every now and then, but for the most part, these guys are, especially get a guy like Cal Higgins, he's been in college 4 or 5 years. He's engaged, super mature. So having guys like that around help elevate your team.
We're talking to the Texas head baseball coach, Jim Schlossnagle, going over the past and what's happening in recruiting. And I wanted to ask you this because you brought up Dylan Valanis, and I remember when you presented him with the freshman of the year, and he said, I was looking at that wall and I was looking for a place to put my name on that wall. That's kind of one of those things that you were talking about with the personal goals and seeing what fits best for him.
Yeah, I think every pitcher desires to be a great starting pitcher, and I'm not going to stand in the way of that. I mean, I do believe that it's changed a lot. It's just like our game in the SEC somewhat reflects what goes on in the big leagues. I think the average start in the SEC last year was about 4 2/3 innings. So the players are so talented. There's so much information. And the bullpens are good. So when in doubt, you bring a fresh pitcher in. But Losing Jared Spencer is a big loss for us. Getting back Ruger, Luke, and Max those were the three biggest recruits, honestly. So we do return about 80% of our innings, but it would be nice to develop a super elite, Friday night starter, which at the University of Texas you should have at least one, and so we think Dylan can do that, and we'll give it a look this fall and into the spring and see what happens.
Before we talk about the fundraiser that you're doing, you got a couple of them actually that's going on right now, but I wanted to ask you about the leadership part of it, because obviously losing Jalen Flores, Galvan, and a couple other guys that were integral parts of the success and helping you keep that foundation. What's next in that pipeline as far as leaders?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, there's no doubt there's a vacuum there when you lose. You don't just use leaders, you use epic leaders. You use some of the most elite leadership type guys in Kimball Schuessler and Galvan and Flores and Ballou. Those guys were super elite. I'm not worried about it on the pitching side because we return, guys like Luke and Max and Thomas Burns is really good at that. But as you know, Mike, as a former player, it's the pitchers are like kickers. They're kind of off doing their own thing most of the time, right? So we need somebody a group of guys within the position player group, and I think we have some really good candidates there. And I also think some of the guys we have incoming are capable of that. There's nothing to say that once one of these transfers comes in and earns their stripes and handles things the right way, that they can't do that. Troy Claunch did that for me or for us at Texas A&M my first year, and so I think that some of those guys are capable of doing that. So we'll be hard at work at that, and that's my job is to develop character and leadership through the sport of baseball, and so we'll be ready.
No, I have no doubt about that. So tell everybody what you have going on right now with the Nolan Ryan Foundation, as you guys are putting together this challenge for some schools across the state of Texas to kind of raise some money for those that were affected by the Texas flood.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing is some youth baseball fields in and around the hill country over there, just like everything else, just got completely washed away. And these kids have nowhere to play. I got an email this summer from some people over in the Ingram area near Kerrville in the hill country, and they were looking for some help. I was just trying to think of different ways we could use the power of Texas and then the other great programs in the state of Texas, and then started working with the Nolan Ryan Foundation. Reese Reed and Wendy Ryan, Nolan Ryan's children, all went to TCU. So I've known that family really well for a long time, and I'm a big believer in what they do. So we're kind of partnering up with them. We have a website. If people just Google the Nolan Ryan Foundation, you can find the link. And I know you've already posted it on your social media stuff. And I just felt like it would be cool to have the Longhorns challenge the Aggies and the Frogs and Bears and UTSA, Texas State, Texas Tech. I mean, any school, DBU, and just let's have baseball fans across the state of Texas. If you can chip in $5, 500 or 5,000, we're trying to raise $100,000, which is going to go into the kitty of what's probably going to be close to about a $2 million project. And some major league teams like the Red Sox and Padres are helping out with that, along with some other organizations. So just need everybody to help chip in, and certainly we'd like to have the Longhorn fans win that contest.
No doubt. I've already posted it. I'm going to post a link on AM 1300, The Zone. Mark Henry's going to post some stuff on his social media as well. So we're going to definitely do our part with that. Coach, before we let you go, Texas football obviously is right around the corner. You were talking about the retreat that you and your staff is going to go on. What is it like when all of you coaches get together on the bigger stage with Coach Chris Del Conte and you start to see some of this stuff come to fruition?
Are you talking about the athletic department?
Yep.
Yeah. I actually have a head coaches meeting at noon today. I went to football practice on Saturday and watched. I'm a huge fan of all of our sports. But I'm actually a psychotic college football fan. If we don't have a home game or recruiting or something like that going on, I'm up for college game day. I'm watching games from 11 a.m. until whoever Hawaii plays. That's the one I'm watching. So, so I love college football. I just love everything about it. And obviously with Jonah Williams on the team, even more of an interest. And so got to see Jonah. Hope he can get healthy soon and get out there and help the guys. And I'm also going up to the shoe. I've never been to Columbus, Ohio, so I'm going to run up there. Had some nice donors ask me to ride with them. So I'm going to run up there, see the game, and hopefully come back with a Longhorn victory.
I like that, Coach.
Hey,
like
Coach,
that.
can Hardge and I get on that trip?
We got to work. We have to work.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I want to get on the jet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I got invited. I'm not sure how many seats there are. You got some big boys over there. I don't know if we got a big enough plane.
we may have to sit on opposite sides of the plane and balance it out.
Balance it out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to balance it out, and no baggage.
No baggage.
No bag.
Up and back. That's all.
Up and back, baby.
Well, I appreciate you, and we'll post this as soon as possible to make sure that we get the people to help with what you guys are doing to help those baseball fields. As always, we appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time today.
You got it, fellas. Have a good day. Hook 'em.
All right, man. Appreciate you. There he is, Coach Jim Schlossnagle, breaking it down. When we come back, we'll talk NFL. Quarterback tiers are out. Who do you agree with and who do you disagree with? Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
For the fourth time in 5 years, the Texas Longhorns have won the Directors' Cup.
Texas wins the national championship. The Longhorns are on top of the college softball world.
From the courts to the field, Texas has dominated the nation.
He caught it. Touchdown, Texas. Texas is going to the Final Four. The Texas women are headed for the Final Four.
1300 The Zone, the home of the Texas Longhorns. Hook 'em.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
There's still a stalled vehicle blocking off the right lane going southbound on 183 at Montopolis Drive. A new accident blocks off the right shoulder going southbound on Mopac at 183, and it's causing a little bit of slowdown starting from Loop 360. You're also slow on southbound I-35 going from 183 down to Airport Boulevard. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Ghost Skeletor World Tour 2025. Ghost Theatrical Heavy Metal Arena Rock. Mariana, August 14th, Moody Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Ghost.
What if you could unlock over $1 million in personal and business credit? That's exactly what Ray Reynolds can do for you. I'm talking about protecting your family and building your business with $100,000 in personal or business cash credit. And Ray can help you rebuild your credit score to 750. Ray Reynolds isn't just any expert. He helped the security chief of TRW that became Experian, one of the most trusted credit bureaus. If you're looking to get your finances on track, Ray is the man you should call for a 750 credit score. Call Ray at 800-427-5991. 800-427-5991. Join his live webinars and attend his weekly workshops to learn the insider strategies for hitting your personal and business goals. Ready for a 750 credit score and your first $100,000 in credit? Call Ray Reynolds now at 800-427-5991. That's 800-427-5991.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit.
I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it to keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Beth, you're in charge of ordering the tacos for the meeting today, yeah?
I'm not going to order the tacos.
What?
I'm going to Easy Cater the tacos. With Easy Cater, you can order from a huge variety of restaurants, track expenses, and save time.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, you're emailing the meeting notes, right?
No, I'm going to easy mail them. Where's my music?
Sorry, Ben. There's no Easy Cater for that.
Easy Cater, the easy way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Great interview with Coach Joe Schlossnagle, giving us the state of the union when it comes to Texas baseball and also what they are doing to help raise money for those affected by the floods in the Texas Hill Country, in particular baseball kids, so they can get a chance to play. I wanted to get into this conversation about the tiers of the quarterback moving into the 2025 season. The pattern was combined of 46 top-tier votes for Lamar Jackson. Now, how does this all break down? It is evaluated with key players, front offices, teams, franchise, and so much more. It also gives you the names of certain players that you look at and you say, okay, how good is this guy? What number is this guy? And who are the tier 1, 2, and 3 guys in the quarterback upper echelon? Obviously, Patrick Mahomes continues to be the top of the food chain, followed by Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and they have Matthew Stafford up to the top five quarterback, top tier
over
quarterback.
Jaden Daniels.
Hold on, number 2, tier 2, Jaden Daniels. That guy again, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, C.J. Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, and Brock Purdy round out tier 2. So that's the top 14 quarterbacks. Coming in at tier 3, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers still in that top tier 3, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Bo Nix, Sam Darnold, Derek May, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, and Kirk Cousins
over Stroud. Did you say Stroud yet?
Stroud is in there, but Kirk Cousins finishes out the top 25, and Michael Penix is the starter. That's where you start to look a little crazy. Tier 4, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, Daniel Jones, Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson, and Spencer Rattler.
Bogus. All of it.
Ugh.
Kill the whole list,
Not
except
the
for
whole
the
list.
first tier.
Okay.
Because if you put Anthony Richardson on your list, you need to throw all of it out. He should not be a quarterback in the NFL. I don't care.
What?
That dude right there he's not hot garbage. He's an unbelievable athlete. He's got an incredible arm. He can throw a deep ball. Everything outside of the deep ball, he can't do.
Well, there's only 32 quarterbacks in the league. He has to be
somewhere.
somewhere.
He's not in the top 32.
Okay,
There's
so
a lot
here's
of
the
guys on the bench better than him.
Can he be considered a backup quarterback?
He can be a backup.
You talking about just getting him out
Hand
of
him
the
a
league.
clipboard and tell him to learn how to play the game.
Well, they have two guys from the same team that is in this tier, and that's Daniel Jones they have at number 30, and they have Anthony Richardson at 32. So they're not far from each other in the eyes of these people that are making these judgments. Joe Flacco being there, he's been around the league, so he's got street cred, so they're going to keep him in there. I don't like the fact that Michael Penix is below Kirk Cousins because now he is the starting quarterback for his team. I like Bryce Young over Caleb Williams right now because Caleb Williams, although his upside seems to be amazing, he's not shown to be amazing. So I've seen the struggles of Bryce Young, and I saw Bryce Young come back from his struggles. Let me see Caleb Williams come back from his struggles to get ahead of him. I don't disagree with Drake May and what his potential is going to be. Sam Darnold jumped up the farthest because of what he was able to do last year in Minnesota. Now he's the starting quarterback for Seattle, and he's tied for 20 with Bo Nix. Bo Nix has been very impressive so far, and he's a mature quarterback because he's 25 years old. So he's already passed some of those thresholds, at least in age, and he has a good coach with him in Sean Payton. I'm not a Sean Payton fan, but people understand that Sean Payton, when he gets the right quarterback, can do some amazing things. Tua Tagovailoa, if he can stop getting hurt, but is he a top 17 guy? Aaron Rodgers, he's strictly on history.
Well, I heard Tomlin talk about Aaron Rodgers, and it's exactly what you and I said yesterday. Can he manage a game? Sometimes veteran players need to be taught. And this is what Tomlin said. Veteran players need to be taught to manage a game and to play within the framework of a game plan rather than going by the physical abilities that they showed in years past. Aaron Rodgers has never had a season where he threw more interceptions or as many interceptions as he did the previous year. Only 3 times in his career did he throw over 15 interceptions in a season. He's 500 touchdowns to 130 interceptions. So he said that's not an issue. He needs to be taught how to play. And where is Tomlin the strongest? In teaching players.
But he has never had a strong.
I'm not being the advocate for
I get it.
Aaron Rodgers.
But
I'm just saying Tomlin feels like he can train Aaron Rodgers.
You cannot train an old dogs and teach them new tricks.
Okay.
Especially one that
we
goes
gonna find
on
out
sabbaticals all the time.
They
to
got
get
it.
the ayahuasca
They have him.
And trying to figure that out. But we shall see.
They have
We'll
him. And I want to see what Tomlin, if Tomlin can't do it, then maybe this is not the ownership. Remember, I thought it was the ownership setting him up.
Yeah.
But if he believes that his abilities so blindly that I can train Aaron Rodgers, his words, not mine, then maybe he should be fired.
He going down with the ship.
He going down
over there on the Titanic. He
hits both wagons,
exactly.
His home wagon and his professional wagon to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, in that in that second tier, you got Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, C.J. Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, in Brock Purdy. I think you should probably flip Dak Prescott and Jordan Love and have Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott by each other. I think that
fair.
Baker Mayfield has shown Dak's biggest problem is he's got to stay healthy. Dak has to stay
Him
healthy.
and Tua.
They have to stay healthy. If Dak is going to go back to that runner-up of the MVP, if it doesn't happen this year, then there's going to be some issues.
Every year that Dak has been hurt, the next year he comes back, he kills.
Yep. I just think that
he's 17 pounds lighter this year.
Well, he might need to be 17 pounds heavier because they're going to be hitting him. If that
I don't think so.
line,
I think that he's smart enough to realize let CeeDee Lamb and Pickens and Ferguson handle the ball. Get it out your hand, man.
Well, that's going to be on Schottenheimer.
Don't study
too.
long, because if you study long, you study wrong.
Well, we're going to hope that they get this thing figured out. And as always, you start looking at some of these numbers and things will change throughout the process. You know, Matthew Stafford is sitting at number 5. He hadn't even practiced. Like, his back is still jacked up. And that is affecting
He walking
my
like
pick.
me.
And that is affecting my pick for the season as the
I'm not picking him anyway.
Well, I picked them to win the West. I picked the Rams to pick the West. So we'll look into that as well. But coming up next, we've got the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
2 right lanes are now blocked off due to that crash downtown on I-35 northbound at 11th Street. There's an accident blocking off the right lane on the 290 toll road westbound before Springdale, causing delays from 130, as well as a stalled vehicle in the right lane on 183A southbound at County Road 174, causing a 5-minute backup. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Hardge here. School's back in session, so let's make sure your ride is ready. At Cover Chevy in Hutto, it's not just about the vehicle, it's about the people riding with you. Get $14,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST or $6,000 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier. Start the school year strong with Covert Chevy, Highway 79 in Hutto, or shop covertchevyhutto.com. Together, let's drive.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Tune in to Ice Cube's Big 3 this summer. Watch stars like Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Joe Johnson, Michael Beasley, and many more, along with Hall of Fame coaches. Experience the fast pace and physical play and fun action that defines the game. You know what it is. It's the Big 3. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice. Oh, yay, yay!
Looking for top quality permanent fencing for your home or business? Look no further than Viking Fence. With over 50 years of experience in Central Texas, Viking Fence delivers craftsmanship you can trust. Whether you need wood, iron, or a custom solution, Viking has the perfect fence to fit your needs. What sets Viking Fence apart? They source the finest quality Western red cedar lumber direct from the mill, the most durable and attractive fence material available. Plus, they offer 3 grades of fence pickets to meet every budget. So whether you want Viking to install your fence or you're taking on the project yourself, call Viking Fence today. They pride themselves on excellent work, outstanding service, and an honest reputation. Call 512-601-8911 for a free estimate. That's 512-601-8911. Or visit VikingFence.com/radio. That's VikingFence.com/radio for your free estimate today. When you think fence, think Viking.
Summer's here. Get ready for backyard barbecues, trips to the pool, and COVID-19.
That's right. COVID isn't taking the summer off and can actually spread year-round. I'm Dr. Simone Wiles, and as an infectious disease expert, I know my patients are often surprised by this fact. They don't expect COVID to strike in the summer and derail their plans, but guess what? It can. COVID can be unpredictable and quickly turn serious, especially for those who are 50 plus or have certain underlying medical conditions. The good news is that if you start feeling sick or test positive, you don't need to wait it out. Prescription medications exist to treat COVID for certain people. If you catch COVID this summer, don't delay. Ask your doctor if prescription medication is right for you. Learn more at pfizerforall.com/COVID-19.
This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Early cloudy today, continued hot. High today in the upper 90s. Back to the upper 90s for a high tomorrow, and a slight chance of showers both days.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The countdown to the NFL season is on while the pads are popping in camp. Get ready for the new season with iHeart, the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Jim Harbaugh, how you feeling?
Oh, so excited. It's the start of the year.
Shows like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
We are going to go through the best position battles of the 2025 training camp.
Breakouts, holdouts, and fantasy sleepers. Be the first to know. Search NFL and find your next preset now. Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
You heard him say it. That's what he do. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest. Mark Henry. It's world's strongest. Take it away, big fella.
Hard.
What up?
You know what time it is? It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, this is normally I take the side of the play. Very rare do I take a side in ownership. But it hurts me to say this. I have to take the side in ownership. Cam Hayward, son of Craig Ironhead Hayward, one of my favorite New Orleans Saints players. His son is a huge, giant, all-pro defensive tackle in the NFL. And with that being said, him being a all-pro, I have some sound. Marcus, hit that sound.
It's hard for me to, having after the year I've had to really justify playing at the number I'm playing at. I understand I signed a contract last year. But to be completely honest with you, when I signed that, I told him, when I have an all-pro year, expect me to come back. And you can look at the contract and see what it was, but I think everybody kind of giggled a little bit, but in my heads, I used it as motivation to go out there and prove it.
They didn't giggle at the fact that he said that we'll revisit this because they thought that he couldn't do it. They giggled because you already signed the deal. It's not what you get, it's what you negotiate. If you sign the deal, keep it real. Cam Hayward signed the contract in the middle of the road at the time. When he made All-Pro, he is right now getting paid he's the 33rd highest paid defensive tackle. He's a top 5, top 6 defensive tackle. He signed that deal last season. He signed it last season. If you feel that good about your abilities, put escalators in the contract. Hey, look, if I make All-Pro, my salary need to go up $5 million. Hey, guys, if I get X amount of sacks, I need X amount of dollars per sack. Something, anything. It's what you negotiate. You can't, they laughed their ass off. I'm telling you, when he said, hey, we're going to revisit this contract if I make All-Pro. Yeah, I would have laughed at him too. Hey, brother, you already signed the deal. So if you sign the contract, guys, live out your contract. Respect the fact that your word means something. Don't revisit it later on when you exceed your deals. Hardge, what say you?
Well, I'm a little confused on this, Mark, because you did say, hey, I'm going to side with the coaching staff this time, the management, which is fair, which is very, very fair. But I also look at the fact, too, that he told you going into it, this is what I plan on doing.
After you signed the deal, after he signed.
He still said it.
It don't matter if you say it.
I agree.
You go to the court of law, what are they going to ask? What's on the paper? What's on the paper?
Yeah, but sometimes that paper, we going through the same thing with the word right now with Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. You gave me your word that this was what it was going to be. He gave him
Jerry
their word.
Jones is a hustler.
And so is Hayward. So is Hayward. Hayward told you what it was going to be.
That's
and
why Jerry Jones don't want to deal with the lawyers, because the lawyers are going to do this. Mr. Jones, can we put that on paper?
Very fair. But the fact of the matter is, to your point, that's how they felt about it when he said it. Ha, 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 ha. And he said, laugh,
yeah,
laugh
good luck.
if you want to.
Good luck is what they was laughing.
Laugh if you want to, because I'm not showing up. I'm not participating. I'm not.
We'll see. They're going to fine him like $350,000.
These guys get their fines written off. You know that as well as I do.
I do.
They give it right back. They find a way to make that money back in something else. But the way that the team reacted is the same way he reacted when I sat here and told you I'm going to sign this deal with you. But know that after I go back and I have one hell of a year, I'm coming back and I want more.
That's not how it works. It's not how it works.
It don't.
But actually, that's how it's always worked in the NFL. Guys sit out and for more money, or teams cut you if you don't perform. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, because if you're not performing, they got the right to let you go. But if I do perform, I can't ask for no more money. Oh, you supposed to do that. That's what we signed you for that $15 million.
Because an NFL,
that's what we did.
NFL contract is worth it. NFL contract is worth toilet paper. It's basically non-guaranteed, so you could change it up at any time.
Well,
so for him to argue,
I just believe in your word.
I'm not disagreeing with you just because. I'm disagreeing with you because there is some room to wiggle, because we're all on our last days of playing in the NFL, right? Like, you're on your last day of wrestling. I was on my last days of baseball. I needed to get as much as I possibly could, as quick as I could. So when I do walk away, I'm even better than what I was, because I can't shake it like I used to.
No, you can't.
Hey, I can run. I can hit it. I just can't run. I'm not finna run like that.
Well, was brother Rivera? Was that Rivera that just tore his
Mariano Rivera?
Yeah,
out there at the old folks game.
The old folks.
Now he's sitting in a rocking chair with his leg up.
And he ain't even heard it pitching. That's the worst part.
He was playing right field.
Why was he out there anyway?
Because I'm an athlete. I am an athlete.
Oh my God.
They say pitchers aren't athletes. I'm a right fielder.
So I think it was close to the pin, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just jump over the wall." And
no. It was time for you to go shut it down. Like I posted that meme yesterday. Sit your butt down somewhere.
Oh my gosh, man! I tell you what, Hardge, I truly believe that these guys got to do a better job with these contracts, and maybe the structure, the Players Association, needs to allow a section in a contract. This guy is a star player that had an off season. If he reaches this amount, in stats, he should be elevated to top 5%.
True.
So
I mean,
that fixes everything. Give him the Patrick Ewing deal.
But they're not going to. The teams are looking at ways to not pay you.
I know.
That's why they.
That's why they laughed at it.
Exactly. Another great take by the world's strongest man. When we come back, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. 2 special stories that just happened to be from H-Town, and we'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Coach Sark here. Stay connected to the Longhorns on the free iHeartRadio app.
Breaks the tackle, 30, turns down the sidelines. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Just search 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
2 right lanes are now blocked off due to that crash downtown on I-35 northbound at 11th Street. There's an accident blocking off the right lane on the 290 toll road westbound before Springdale, causing delays from 130, as well as a stalled vehicle in the right lane on 183A southbound at County Road 174, causing a 5-minute backup. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Craig Way here, voice of a local college football team, and for Dr. Greg Eckert with Advanced Dentistry, where I've been a patient of his for over a decade. You can experience a new level of dental care in Austin with Dr. Eckert. They provide general, cosmetic, and advanced restorative dentistry. Unlike a lot of dentists, they're open on Fridays. And get this, Dr. Eckert is giving away Zoom teeth whitening for free with every new patient that schedules. That's a $600 value. Give them a call today to set up an appointment. 512-345-3166. Dr. Eckert is spelled UECKERT. DrEckert.com.
After a trip to the 2025 Women's Final Four, an SEC championship in their first season, and sold-out crowds at the Moody Center, Texas women's basketball is on fire. And season tickets for 2025-26 are on sale now, starting at just $100. Longhorn Nation helped deliver the first undefeated home season in 22 years. Now it's your turn to be part of the action. Bring the energy, bring the pride, bring the Texas fight all season long. Lock in your seats today at TexasLonghorns.com.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
Who owns the summer? Big Three. Who's got the hottest professional 3-on-3 basketball league of the summer? Ice Cube's Big Three. It's summer in the city. Big Three's back. Tune in to CBS and Vice all summer long. That's right. Ice Cube's Big Three. The best 3-on-3 basketball league in the world. Don't miss the incredible showdown. Playing the game like it's meant to be played. With your favorite Big Three players like Dwight Howard, Michael Beasley, Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, Kemba Walker, Jason Richardson, ISO Joe Johnson, Montrezl Harrell, and many more. You'll also see the legendary and Hall of Fame coaches like Michael Cooper, Calvin Murphy, Steven Jackson, Nick Young, Nancy Lieberman, and Julius Dr. J. Irving, George the Iceman Gervin, and the 2024 Big Three champion Gary Payton. Fire up the grill and bring in the family. It's Big Three, baby. Summer in the city. And we got a special halftime musical guest. Tune into CBS Advice all summer long. Oh, yay, yay.
Liz went from being interested in true crime to living true crime.
My husband comes back and he's shaking. And he said, your dad's been killed.
This is Hands Tied, a true crime podcast exploring the murder of Jim Melgar.
I was just completely in shock.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Hands Tied, and listen now.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
Guilty, erroneous, sustained.
Are you just saying random words?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber spores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Hey, it's Coach Sark. Now back to the morning kickoff with Hardge and Henry on your radio home for the Longhorns, 1300 The Zone.
Great show today on the morning kickoff. You the home on 18 days away from Texas. Ohio State. You can always listen to the games here right here on your home for Texas athletics and Texas football. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and always free on the iHeart Radio app. Make sure you download that app. Put us number 1 as your preset, and put our podcast, in case you missed it, on parts of the show. That's number 2 on the list. We just interviewed with Joseph Cook of Inside Texas Cook, and of course, Coach Schlossnagle as he is raising money for the Texas country as they lost their baseball fields in a lot of those places. So the kids didn't have a place to play, so he's raising money.
Very honorable.
Put that into the kitty for them to build those fields back. Mark, last night, 2 things happened in Asia. Well, one happened before, but 2 things happened that were so important. Number 1, Alex Bregman returned as a Boston Red Sox, and they gave him a standing ovation. It was an exciting time, and all he did was hit a home run his first
Big
at
knock.
bat. Second at bat, all the cheers was gone, and they was booing his behind
Yeah.
as he walked up to the plate. But one of the biggest things that happened is the prodigal son returned to H-Town, and those fans could not be happy enough.
Has been introduced in 4 years as an Astro.
Busted!
Carlos Correa returned back to H-Town for the first time since being traded to the Minnesota Twins. Came back home, and the Astros get the victory, but it was a good homecoming for Alex Bregman as he got the home run. And, of course, Carlos Correa being recognized by H-Town, coming back and playing third base. And I saw an interview with him, and he said, what was the biggest part about you wanting to come back? And he said, I get to spend time with Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve is one of my best friends in this game. He's not only a great baseball player, but he's one of the nicest human beings you would ever want to be around. We talk life, we talk our struggles, and he's always been there for me. So now I get to hang out with my best friend every single day now. So
bro, brotherhood is so important in sports.
Big time, especially that sanctity of the locker room is something that you can never, ever, ever replace, because we still talk about it to this day. I still talk to some of my former teammates almost every day. I talk to my guys that I grew up with every day. So you can never, ever replace that. And so it's good that those two in H-Town, as they start to chase another pennant, to go out there and do it together.
You know they're going to be old guys one day, like the movie Life.
Yep.
And they're going to sit there on the porch like me and you always talk about, man, the check engine light is on.
Exactly.
And stuff. And if you don't have somebody that you can reference that life with,
yep,
it makes it feel like you was a stranger to everybody.
Yeah, it's a good stuff, and I'm glad to it. One thing that also happened in H-Town is Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, Texas got a chance to really embrace him last year. He played his way into a first-round draft grade and becoming a first-round pick, the first-round pick wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers since 2002. 2002 was the last time that the Packers drafted a wide receiver in the first round in Matthew Golden. And Matthew Golden decided to turn his $9.4 million signing bonus to gift to his grandmother. His grandmother had lost her home, and Matthew Golden went out, and as part of his journey in the NFL, he decided that he was going to buy his grandmother's house back for her, and that's exactly what he was able to do. You know, a lot of people play for so many different reasons. A lot of people have so many different whys. And for Matthew Golden, his grandmother, who was the biggest inspiration for him, he was able to go back and purchase her old home for her so she can be back in her house, in her neighborhood.
Bro, incredible. I told you I wouldn't be me without my grandmother.
Right.
And I had the conversation with my daughter yesterday about motivation. I was like, your motivation wasn't my motivation. Like, we were poor. We worried about how much we could eat.
Yep.
I was like, I don't apologize for your life, but I hope that when I'm old, you treat me like I treated my mother and my grandmother.
Right.
And for you to come in today and tell me this, I told you it was emotional.
Yeah. And I said, man, look, this is one of those moments in life. Like I said, so many people have so many different whys. And, you know, what's the first thing? Hi, Mom. Hey, Mom. Touchdown. Yep. Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have Granny and Grandma, and those people that helped raise you when your mama and daddy was on you, or mama and daddy had to work. Where you gonna go? You going to grandma's house?
Grandma's.
Yeah, I'm going to my grandmother's house. And both of my grandmothers, we spent a lot of time with both of them. Well, we call them June Street and Sugarloaf, because one was in June Street, one was over by Sugarloaf. So it is grandparents are important. And that's why me being a grandfather now, the triple OG of the Hardges, now I'm excited about what can happen with my grandkids, and I hope that they look at me that way as well. I'm a lot older than some of these other grandparents. I'll be in that wheelchair going to their events by the time they get.
I want a house too.
I'm gonna add in the fact that the reason why I'm a huge sports fan is because of my grandmother. My grandmother took me to high school football games, all the football games, Houston Gam. I'm a big football fan because my grandmother just loved football.
Yeah. And that seems to be what happened with Matthew Golden. You know, you always got to have somebody in your corner. And it seems like, you know, we have our ancillary friends. We have our circle of trust that we're all in. But ain't nothing like a grandparent's love and what they do for everybody. I know that my kids are fortunate enough to have the grandparents that they have, because they are all in from top to bottom, from all over the place. So
tell Poppy we talking about him.
I think Poppy and Nani know, and of course my mom knows as well. I want to thank Mark Henry. I want to thank Marcus. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We are going to be better tomorrow. We'll have more from Coach Sark. We'll also have more from the NFL as we get closer and closer. We didn't get a chance to talk about the situation with Shedeur Sanders coming in number 4 on the depth chart. I want to get your thoughts, and we'll continue those
conversations. Or tell Coach happy birthday.
And, of course, Coach Schlossnagle, happy birthday, my brother. Enjoy it. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Have a great one. Peace.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback.